With Roadrunner Photography Tours. I want to give you a quick overview of Luminar 2018. This is it's a product by Skylum Software, which used to be called Mac Fun. They used to make just Mac only software, but now their HDR solution and Luminar are both Mac and PC compatible. This is the newest version. They just came out with an update where they've made, a lot of speed improvements. I found it to be really solid before, but they tell me it's even better now. The biggest thing I think about this program is it's fully featured. It is really almost like having a miniature version of Photoshop, and and the price is a very reasonable $69, I think. We also have a discount code, which I think earns $10 off of that. But I think the person this is best designed for is the person that's just the Lightroom user. This integrates with Lightroom. Or if you've not gotten Lightroom or Photoshop, you're using something else. You've always thought that, hey, one day I'll use Photoshop. But this might be the program for you before you move on to Photoshop. I personally think it's like anything else. Have as many tools available as you can, because this is a very this program has some things that I can do much easier in Luminar than I can in Photoshop, and so I use Luminar, for instance, with what's called the sunray filter. Now I'll show you just real quick. I'll click on Add Filters. This is just the default picture that comes up, but under Creative, there's sun rays. And I'll click the little thing that says Place Center, so you know where they're originating from. But here you go. That's the sun ray filter. It's really cool. I've used it in a lot of different pictures, and I think it's a nice effect. And of course, you can tailor the amount, the look, the number of rays, the length of the rays, the warmth of the rays, how big the sun is, all these other things. Also, the neat thing about Luminar is that if you don't like this, you go, oh, I don't want to apply this. Well, then just this little tiny red X down here in the corner of that filter menu, just boom, click it, it disappears. So let's pull up one of my images from last week. Just got back from a week in the Smokies, and so I'm going to just dump that over top of Luminar. It'll open it up. This is a nice little waterfall in the Tremont area. First thing I see is, and this is the raw file, is that I think this scene's a little dark. So I'm going to just come over and just nudge up the exposure a little bit. Then, of course, you can sit there and go, well, does it need more contrast? Well, it might need a little bit of contrast, but I don't think it needs very much, because contrast is going to make my whiters or my brights brighter, my darks darker, and I really don't want to go too far down that road. Now, with highlights, I can kind of slide the highlights a little bit to the left, and it just tones down, even though there's detail in the water here, it just kind of tones down that brightness just a little bit. The clarity adds basically mid-tone contrast. You can see that's way too much, but usually on clarity, like with anything in Photoshop, a little bit goes a long way. And anyway, so that's my raw file, quick and easy to develop. Now, if you want to do some other effects, and you can see there's already some things already lined up here. I'll show you guys real quick. The Accent AI filter is there. Matter of fact, I'm going to nix the raw adjustments. Okay, so just going to this Accent AI filter, it automatically analyzes the picture and does what it thinks is necessary. And I just slid this over to 100%. I think the picture's pretty good. There's a little bit of a green color cast in it, and matter of fact, the next two filters down is remove color cast, and method 1 is auto 2. I just leave it on auto 1, but I'm going to just slide this up to about 50%. There we go. And I think that helps, because after all, there's a lot of green in this, but the trees don't need to look green. It takes it down just a little bit. So as a matter of fact, I'll hit the reset button, so hopefully you'll see the difference. Okay, see how I just reset it, everything kind of went much more of a green color cast. move it up to 50%, and I think that takes care of it. Now, of course, there's a lot more you can do in Luminar. Let me click on this filter menu. There are a ton of filters. Black and white conversion. I showed you the raw develop feature. If you want to go crazy with saturation or vibrance, and then in some images that don't have that may need it. This one certainly I don't think needs much more saturation or vibrance. The greens are already so lush. The structure is great for architecture, or what I consider rust and ruins kind of thing, old rusty cars or abandoned places. There's tone adjustment, there's vignetting, clarity. These are issue fixers, how they've, things that are typical issues they've there. Now we have another menu for creative things. Now, texture overlays, sun rays, which I already showed you, split toning, soft glow. There's just a ton of things. And then there's some professional level things, advanced contrast adjustments, channel mixer. That's something that I sometimes use with infrared photography. There's color balance, color contrast, curves, the dodge and burn. LUT mapping is something that's new, and it is it's for achieving more of a cinematic look, and it's not something I've used. I've seen it done on some portraits, and when it's done right, it can be really cool. But it's certainly beyond the basics. But anyway, so this is just a super powerful program for really not a lot of money. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview. You've got all these tools on the right. One thing I will show you real quick, I just thought about it, is the fog. So now there's a lot of fog in the Smokies sometimes. Unfortunately, there wasn't any fog when we were there last week, which was disappointing. A lot of the things were great, but that was one thing that we could have used. Okay, now as you can see, I've added a little bit of fog, but of course that doesn't look real because it's over the whole image. So I'm going to click on this paintbrush. I'm going to use the brush, and then I'm going to come in here. I'm using my bracket keys to make the brush smaller or larger, and I'm just going to brush a little fog across the top of the image. It's subtle, but that's how fog is. You often see it in the distance, but anyway, that's it. It's just a quick overview. If you're interested in seeing more videos of what you can do, Skylum Software, SKYLUM, they have a YouTube channel. They also have videos on their website. So they go much deeper dive into these features. But like I said, I just wanted to give you a quick overview, and I hope you found this worthwhile. You can always send me an email at don@Roadrunner Photography Tours if you have a question, and I'll try to help or point you in the right direction if I can't help. Alrighty, thanks. Take care. Bye.